Like his facial impression,
Recording in
his
progress.
facial impressions are really good. Just like, oh, like when he doesn't know something or he gets scared, he's Mhm. Oh, that we don't get, yeah. I'm trying to see what's going on. I'm gonna let you. Saturday. Yeah, they got man, it's gonna be a tough series, but I'm interested in seeing what if the Knicks can truly turn it on for the playoffs. That's the good teams can, right? The good teams have that switch that they can just turn on in the playoffs and they look like a different team. Because the way the season ended for the Knicks was not good. They lost to the Detroit Pistons, the team that they're playing in the first series. They lost to the Boston Celtics, the team that they would play in the second six series. They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the team that they would play in the third series, and then they beat the New Jersey Nets. That was their last four games. I don't know. I don't know. The Cleveland and Boston are really good. I've only so so they're a good team, but they're also fairly well. Last year they were like the number fifth. They were the fifth seed. The Knicks played them in the first round of the playoffs and beat them unmercifully, right? But they had some injuries and things like that. This is year they were good, and they were one of those new goods, right? So you know how when you new good, you run up the score, you run up the regular season. Yeah, you run up the regular season because you're good, and the really good teams kind of know that they just they know that they just to kind of coast, get 50 something wins, and they're fine with it. They're not as worried about beating any scoring records or anything like that. They just know, all right, if we get to 60, 58 wins, we're good. They know how to play hard when they need to play hard and take it down. That's the teams that have been there before. You can see why what the Cavs was doing early in the season. They weren't ready for. They were just going to boat race everybody. And Boston, which I still think is the best team in the East, they didn't do that. They were just like, we'll take breaks when we need to take breaks. We'll get it as long as we get to the wins we need to get to, and we have at least a home court advantage. They weren't gonna burn themselves out trying to race Cleveland to the most wins. So they were gonna play their. I, yeah, it probably doesn't matter, but I always hated the weaker conference East talk. Right, I do, right, but be, because like it usually flip flops, but it hasn't flip flopped in terms of the East all that much, right? Um, and but part of the reason is because some of the West Coast teams were so bad before, they wind up getting all these generational talents, right? And the East kind of missed out on some of those talents. But although the West has the better probably division, the East has not put up a bad fight against the West. So the top teams in the East versus the top teams in the West, Boston won last year. A couple years ago, Milwaukee won, right? So there hasn't been this the Heat's been contenders pretty much every single time. But so yeah, the top seeds do, but the bottom seeds have been really, really bad in the East. They just haven't been able to get right for a while. Uh-huh. The Oklahoma City Thunder are really good. So what changed their franchise, not franchise, well, the Knicks, one of the Knicks key heart players, Isaiah Hartenstein, was a free agent, and the Knicks just couldn't sign him. They didn't have the money to sign him. They were going to offer him just a little. The max they could offer him was not good enough, right? Because they just didn't have the cap space. So he went to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who was able to offer him a lot. He has changed that team franchise. They've got Shea Gilchrist-Alexander, who is probably going to be the MVP of this year, right? They've got Chet, who is missed half the season and they were still winning. And now he's back. He's just one of those Wimby type players who, but he's not the superstar of the team. And they just got heart and they got players, and yeah, they're a tough out. And Houston is the big surprise. They've got young talent, but once again, they have been so bad since they traded Harden that their draft picks they've hit on Cade Cunningham, Amin Thompson. Um, they've got a big man that I really, really like. Segun, I think is his name is. He's really good. And then they were fortunate enough to get Ime Udoka, who is an amazing coach, but he had those problems in Boston, right? So they got he didn't have problems in Boston. Marital problems that yep, yeah, because he was messing around with somebody in the building. Right? So mhm. But yeah, but between all those solid young draft picks, that they have one of the youngest teams in the NBA. So besides get all those young talent, they went and paired it with Ime Udoka, who is a great coach, and he's got those boys up. Now, the tough part is their first round matchup is against one of the older teams in the league and the Warriors. That is going to be the matchup to watch because the Warriors very well can beat them in a 7 game series. It's Butler, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. They very well, yes. Yeah. And that's everyone's word that Houston, the number 2 seed, who was great all year, is going to lose in the first round to the Warriors. Yeah. But the Warriors, I would say before Butler got there, they weren't a playing team. Like he made them better. And he's a good player. And yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. They're playing against one of the youngest teams in the league, and they're one of the oldest teams in the league. And that's the same. The Detroit Pistons were the same way. They're a young team that's had a lot of good draft picks, and then they finally got the coach that is good to match with those players, and they're pretty good. Yeah, they do it. Home court advantage for New York is good because playoff atmosphere in New York is something crazy. Yeah, it shouldn't. But yeah. hmm Yeah, the Clippers probably could have been up there, but the Clippers had Kawhi Leonard out half the season. And I think that actually helped that team because with Kawhi out, the rest of the team got good. They got Harden who was helping that team out, but they became a good team. And when he came back, he's playing some of the best ball. Like I said, looking at their winning streak going into the playoffs, they won 8 in a row. Right. So, but the Nuggets are not very good. That's it. The stats are that they are the most efficient team in the NBA when Joker's in the game. When Joker's not in game, they're the least efficient team. That's how crazy Joker makes for that team. Like their numbers go from top efficiency to the bottom of efficiency when you just take Joker out numbers out. It's crazy. Jamal Murray, they just have not been playing well. Jamal Murray is just a shell of himself since they won the championship. And Westbrook is a he's becoming a glue guy, but it's tough. And the Lakers just became they were another team that was bad until they went and got Luca, and now they're going to be a tough team to play against. And I don't like rooting. I'm not rooting for them, but I don't like the Lakers. So yeah, this is basketball season. It's heating up. It's heating up. So yeah. Hmm. Like an up and coming team that you want to watch and they can still be excited for the future. Yeah, I think he did. And then yeah, I think he did. I think he definitely played this year. Whether he is still playing, I'm not 100% sure. Looking at the box score, he is not playing today. So he is definitely not there for the playoffs. So no. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He's Josh Giddey's actually playing well for y'all. So mhm. Yeah. It's a tough it was a tough year for the Chicago Bulls. I just think that they should have partly because they won't just really tank. Like if you're good, they've made the playoffs the last couple of years, but they're playing teams and at some point in time you got to go, all right, we got to blow everything up. If that means getting rid of our best players, it means getting rid of our best players. That was pretty much it. They kept Vukovic, which I think Vukovic would have been a pretty decent add to a different another team, but his contract is pretty crazy. Um, yeah, you're right. You're right. They don't really have much, and they should have probably uh yeah, but they should have just got anyone you want. Like, hey, pick a guy, pick a name out of hat. If you want him, he's yours. No, I can't either. I don't think he's that great of a coach. They're not. A lot of people got fired. Malone got fired too. It's like, yeah, both those guys recently won, like recently won championships. It's it's a combination of whoever the GM of that team he did not make put together a solid team. You got names, and Beal was never going to work out. They should have never traded for Bradley Beal. Yep. Yes. Hmm. And you're gonna beat more your guys. Correct. Yeah. There's not much to gel and things like that. And other stuff has to happen. Yeah. Basketball is definitely tough. And I'm worried because I'm seeing things like, hey, should the Knicks go after Kevin Durant and get rid of who? Like, and get rid of if we get Kevin Durant and get rid of who? And now we got another year of a team that has to learn how to play together. Will they play together? I'm like, at some point in time, you got to say, this is the team we have. We'll make some smaller adjustments. The major stuff is taken care of. But you got your guys that you want. And if you need smaller role playing guys, that's fine. Because I think that's what a team is. three players, and the rest are role players that complement those two other three players. Yep. If you can play, yeah, that's tips is things. It's like you'll get on the court if you can play defense. If you can't play defense, you may never see the court. I don't care how good you are on offense, unless you're getting paid $35 million a year. I'm not letting you on the court. But there's a lot of players that don't even play a little defense now. It's getting crazy, man. Uh huh. I was a really good subject because I was thinking the same way. Yep. 2 or 3. Yes. But he's looking like number 2. Mhm. If the Cleveland Browns trade out of that pick. Trade up. I don't know. We get to see if he at least makes a call. Uh-huh. We're not having that, and we should. but but I non-zero, I'd say. Above 20%, I don't see it. I just I, I don't even think the Giants had a private workout with Cam Ward. I think it's not a secret. It's not a secret that Tennessee is picking Cam Ward and they're not trading away. They're like all those other teams in the top, they aren't even interviewing Cam Ward. Like I saw like there's a bunch of names that came in to visit the Giants, and I was like, oh, okay. But that'd be the difference. Give up the farm and get the guy who will be there at 3 for them. Oh. Oh, it would be. Mm. Yep, nope, nope, nope. If there's too much, if that's the guy they want, if that's the guy, but I think if they're trying to one is for Cam Ward, right? Like, so because there's no guarantee that Travis Hunter's there for them at 3. There's no guarantee. I saw somebody say that they don't think that the Browns are like stuck with this pick. Like they they might be willing to move for the right. They need a lot of pieces. There are a lot of teams that might be willing to move up. Might be willing to move up. Yep. So them going out to anyone who moves up to 2 is going for, I think, Travis Hunter. I don't think they're going to go up for Abdul Carter. I think they like. I think everyone likes what they see in Travis Hunter, and that's what they want. So this freaking nature, or not freaking nature, but this guy we've never seen before play both positions, and who has said he does not want to play for a team if they don't let him play both sides of the ball. I am willing to let them. I am willing to play him on both. I said, okay, I see what you did there. That all of a sudden us know that if he's available, he's probably ours, right? Yeah. Hmm. That's what the whole point of signing those guys was for. I'm telling you, if he's there late in the first round, I don't see why you don't trade up to get him. I I just I unless you have someone like y'all have gone to visit him, he private workouts, all these things. You like the guy probably, right? And if in the mid 20s he's available and a move can be made from 34 to 25, 26, and you come back out with the two guys you wanted, the best available, who is either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, and you get Shador, I don't see how you can pass up. Because what were you going to get at 34 that is going to hit need so much? That's how I feel. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And Pat Shermer knows because Pat Shermer was our OC, was our head coach when Daniel Jones came out. Started, he was the OC when Daniel Jones was, and then became the head coach, and it was not good from there either. But I don't see the resemblance. One, because Shador does not run. He's not a running quarterback. He's not that strong with his legs. Two, he is way more accurate than Daniel Jones was. And three, he throws a better deep ball than Daniel Jones does. So I don't see the resemblance, but I'm not an offensive coordinator who worked with both guys. So I don't know. Yeah. You know who likes pizza too? Daniel Jones. Oh man, this is like, I don't know. Like I said, I would be happy with that, but I'm already said to myself, I think the first night, Thursday is gonna be a good night for us. Thursday is gonna be a good night because we're getting somebody that I think is as a top player. We because because they did the work that they did in the offseason, we don't have to get a. Oh, I'm not even really looking at wide quarterbacks because I know at three we better not pick one. I'm at the point right now where I don't even want Shador at three. Right, I would take Shador in the 20s. I'd take Shador first round of the third round, of the second round. But I don't know if he would get to us because I bet the Browns have the same idea. The Browns are like, if he's dropped, if he's there, I'm taking him. So um I just like that's what I'm do. That's what I'm okay with. I'm okay with us picking best available right now. They've said that Abdul Carter's injury is not an issue. They've come out and said that. So that's good to hear. And I'm okay with the Giants having possibly one of the best defensive lines in the league if Abdul Carter's the guy they get. Right? You're talking about Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Carter, and Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau if they don't trade him. So I I would not be upset with that lineup. So It, yeah, and we've made help. We've done things on the DBs and safeties. We've improved there. So yeah, if that's the pick the Giants get, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'll probably be happy about it. We have a rushing. We haven't had a really good defensive end since Justin Tuck and Human Yara and that group. So I I'll be happy with that. So yeah, no, I think actually this year I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. Last year it was like okay, and even last year I was like, listen, I wanted a wide receiver. I got the guy I wanted last year. So and he turned out to be an amazing player, really good rookie year. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Who's okay? Oh, okay. 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 That's not Ashton Genty. No. they they have a running back that they're okay with currently on the roster. He's not Ashton Genty, but they okay. Now te- mhm. From Texas. Yeah, what? No, 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 no. When the season when the ended the season ended, I said Travis Hunter would probably go to the Patriots because the Giants' need for a quarterback would force their hand to get Cam Ward or Shadir Sanders. That was what I said when the season ended. Um, and now that but they said they did enough work in the offseason. When it's not, they don't need that. I'm happy that the Joe Shane is out there doing the work that needs to be done because now we don't have to, and now we can get a possible generational talent in Travis Hunter, like possible. So you know what? I'm okay with that. Instead of us having to do need, which was what we had to do last year, I think as well. That's why we needed a wide receiver, and it was so heavy in the top with wide receivers. You couldn't pass that up last year. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's they can go O line. They can O line. Oh, if they don't know, if they're not picking between Abdul Carter, if they have anyone else that they think compares to them and the rankings are close, then they might as well trade out of that pick. And then someone else would take one of those other guys. You know what I mean? Like if you're not going to pick Abdul Carter and you're going to go with the guy from Michigan, you might as well trade down and try to get that guy at a lower point, right? Because yeah, but somebody wants to come up. At, you know what I mean? Somebody wants to come. Oh, Travis Hunter's definitely what makes people want to go up. Yeah, at 12 on the Cowboys at 12, right? Yeah. Oh, that's a tough. Yeah, that's a tough. That's you giving up. You giving up everything for that. And if they could do it, they'd swing it. But that's a lot. I heard somebody say, if the Cowboys like somehow got Travis Hunter and then can get they said something about Shador Sanders. They were talking about just a bunch of Cowboys fans on the radio out here. Then that would immediately put whoever their coach is on the hot seat, and the talks of Dion coaching would be too great. It would definitely happen, probably. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Will Dion be a great coach? Who knows? But would Jerry want him there? Of course. But it would be interesting to see how that dynamic works. It might be worth the price of admission because I don't see how Jerry Jones, even when he's writing the checkbooks, could stop Deion Sanders from talking. I just don't say. So you got Jerry saying stuff to the media, and Dion going, "Yeah, I don't know what Jerry's old ass is saying." So that would be fun and entertaining just to watch from that standpoint. No, I kind of remember it. Mhm. No, that's not a good strategy. Travis Hunter is a bonus. Would be a plus for them team. Shador, I don't know. Yes, for a lot of money. For a lot of money. Hmm. Yeah, but Mm. But although the contract is kind of rough, I don't think that you'd have a hard time get trading him. There was a team that would be willing to take that contract on if it got them the player that they need, I think. Because I think there's a lot of teams already know that the cost of a quarterback eventually, may not be right now, eventually is going to be where his contract is. Right. So I don't see anyone else coming in that can possibly mess with that. Jaden Daniels and Caleb in the next 3 years. Jaden Daniels probably in the next two, like three, yeah, after the third year. So that's 2 more years. So those guys would probably touch close to what Dak is if they continue down that track. If Jaden gets them to the NFC championships again, you got at year three. Oh, and Stroud. I forgot Stroud, who's after this year, he's available for his extension. And it would behoove them to do it this year. But maybe not because there really is no one else that's coming up that could reset the market and make you have to come out your pocket that much more. There's no one else coming up after Brock Purdy. After Brock Purdy gets his check, that's it. Stroud would be the next person, and he'd be competing with himself. Allen signed one. Burrow signed one. Um, Lawrence signed one. Really, which might hurt him. Bec- which eh, nope. Hmm. He'd have to show a lot to get the contract. But not to not. I don't. He'd have to be ridiculous to compete with the numbers to move the needle. Yeah, to move the needle. Hmm. Darnold, maybe he just what he signed a 2 year, 3 year deal. Bryce Young will be the same year as CJ Stroud. So both that they're capable of getting there. Bo Nix. Hmm. Yeah. So it's going to be that draft class from last year and then the ones before that's going to be competing. So it might be beneficial. Is Bryce Young and Stroud. No, Bryce Young and Stroud's first would be first. Then would be the Caleb, the Bo Nix, the Jaden Daniels, that group. Who's there? Oh yeah, they're not making top dollar. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence didn't come out with Justin Fields. He came. It was before. No, no, no. Are you sure we got Mr. Trubisky? Trevor, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, 2021. No, see, yeah, yeah, you're right. But I don't think Fields was in that one, right? Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, yeah. Micah Parsons, Devontae Smith. That's a damn good draft, except for the quarterbacks. Yeah. Because one went Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. I throw all of them in the trash, to be perfectly honest with you. And then when you just look at it after that, you just got Kyle Pitts, trash. So the first four, you could just put them in the trash someplace. Jamar Chase got paid. Jalen Waddles, Penny Sewell, whatever. Sewell, yep. JC Horn, good cornerback. Pat Surtain, really good quarterback. Devonta Smith just got paid. Justin Fields got a new team. Micah Parsons get paid. That's the top 12 in that draft. And don't remind me because at 21 to 20, the Giants got Kadarius Tony. Oh. And you look at the crowd and they're like, oh, mm-hmm. Florida. Don't get those Florida players. They got their problems. They are problems. Yes. Yep. Yep. Man, I was thinking about a bad draft can set your team back a year, 2 years, right? A bad two bad drafts back to back, five. Rebuild. Like, like somebody was they were talking on on the radio about the Cowboys' last couple drafts have been bad, and because of that, they have nothing. There's nothing in the cupboards. Their veterans got old, and they didn't replace them with anything, and It's just caused them to be they're not going to be able to get out of this for 2 3 years. And when I start looking at, all right, so after the Giants, after the Eli Manning, and after the Giants defense went away, what did we do in drafts? And answers, we haven't had a solid draft in about 7 8 years. We've had a player here and there coming through, but you're talking about a top down draft where most of those players are still on your team and that veterans. We Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence and Saquon Barkley would have been those guys, right? That 2017 was 8 years ago, so we can go that way. And I think that's either okay, all pro not all pro, but he's made a few Pro Bowls, Pro Bowl tight end. He made some with the Giants. Yeah. Mhm. Saquon Barkley, all pro, never with the Giants. Well, I think it was all pro his rookie year. But yeah, he was definitely a Pro Bowl. He was rookie of the year. So yeah, got not on the team anymore. So it doesn't it just that doesn't matter. Yep, correct. Daniel Jones. Not on the team anymore. Dexter Lawrence. Still on the team, Pro Bowl, perennial Pro Bowler since he's there. So yes, he's still on the team. That's one. Usually doesn't go bad. Not in the league anymore. He's in jail. Yeah, oh Clemson. Yeah. Yep. I think he's in jail. So- and he was a DB, so I'm not picking DBs. If he was a lineman from Georgia, yes. Still on the team. He's made a Pro Bowl. That's two guys in 4 years. I think you go to 4 years. Okay, that's still on the team. And if we would have went to the second and third string, they're probably not on the team. If we can't keep our first rounders, there's a strong chance that our second rounders are not on there. Like Xavier McKinney was also one of those guys. I think he's either coming up next year for you. Okay, he's not a first round pick, but he's Pro Bowler, not on our team anymore. Justin Fields after yes, yeah, after the oh Jesus Christ. Correct. And the whole year he stunk. He was not very good. And then that whole year I was begging for you guys to stink so that we can have a top pick in the draft. We got the seventh pick in the draft. They stunk. Not Kadarius Tony. Yep. Kayvon Thibodeau. Still on the team. Then now we're running into guys that are still on the team because it wasn't that long ago. If they would have got rid of some of these guys, which they might, because the next on that list is Evan Neal. Yeah. By tackle you mean guard now? Because I don't think he's been demoted. Yes, that's the team. Oh, they never do. Deontay Banks had one solid year and may not be on the team for long. Travis, correct. Kayvon Thibodeau, correct. Correct. Yes. Um, yes. But can yep. Saquon Barkley. Home run pick. Hmm. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Oklahoma. He had a good Eric Flowers. Oh, so one of the worst picks. These I'm gonna tell you, those that Eli Apple Eric Flowers pick got Dave Gettleman fired. Like these are picks. No, no, got Dave Gettleman hired. Like the DeAndre Baker pick probably got him fired. He had the Saquon pick. He lived and died on Saquon. He said, "This is the pick. This guy is a future Hall of Famer." Is what he this was his he was quoted. This guy's a future Hall of Famer. You don't pass on guys like this. That was his whole thing. Yeah, yeah, it. Mm-hmm. Not with the Jets. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Didn't he all pro? Yeah. Mm, hmm. From Tampa Bay, yeah. Hmm. He's not there anymore, right? Colts. Okay, versus him and Chase Young. Yeah. Mm, good Buffalo, right? Mm. He had a good year, and then he, for some reason, he couldn't tackle anymore with the Cowboys. He just, and he couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't stay healthy at all. Solid draft, right? Yeah. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Mm, not on the team. Not on the team. The Giants. No, it wasn't Justin Fields at that time. Okay. Good pick, but not on the team anymore. Down. Yep. Because they didn't have the balls to take Micah Parsons. Hmm. Hmm. But then Justin Fields got. Yeah, I know. That's why do y'all do that? I just I feel like y'all are on this. And the funny thing is, I think the coaches have been fired when they needed to get fired. It's just this weird cycle that they're on. It's like it's a weird timing thing because I don't think anyone was held longer than they need to or fired. I think they were all fired within 3 years, and it just so happens that they draft a quarterback in that third year, and then that's it. Hmm. Nagy, is that no? That man, yeah. Mhm. And yep. Yes. He grew a beard out. He but how much you gonna get for 3 spots? Whatever it is, it's more. True. True. Because you know someone's probably moving up. Like a team like the Cow from the call that you get, you know what the player that they want. You kind of know what the player that they're looking for is. So, but in order to jump up there, there's got to be a team that because because the Saints have the ninth pick, right? Yeah. So if they don't pick a quarterback, the next team to pick a quarterback is probably Pittsburgh at 21. They could, but not 10. That's what I mean. that's that's the problem. It costs too much to get to 10. Get back in the top 10? No, it costs too much. I think a team could get back into the top 20, not in the top 20, in around 20, but it's going to be hard to get like below Pittsburgh. That's why I think of Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh's going to be the litmus test. They're probably picking a quarterback. And it's just, but I don't know if that quarterback is Shador, though. Trade for Kirk Cousins. But why would you get like so first of all, they had Kirk Cousins. They let Kirk Cousins walk. And they got fortunate enough to get Sam Darnold, who was decent enough to get them to the playoffs. Yes. The only reason why you don't keep Sam Darnold is because you then drafted a quarterback in the first round of the playoffs that is the future of your team. Right? That's the thought process behind that. Because if you don't think that McCarthy is the future of your team, you kind of sign Sam Darnold. He's the cheapest quarterback available, and he just won you 14 games. That's just to me just makes sense. Right? So now if you're trying to get either Cousins or Rodgers, who are both old, you believe that the first round quarterback that you just picked is not ready for the play. And now you're going to have a situation similar to Trey Lance. It seems like a Trey Lance situation. Okay, I just because I don't know when does he get to play? You're he's injured, so but he would have had a whole year to recover. Nope. So he would have had a whole year to recover. Um, if you were willing to roll the dice with him sometime last year, you gotta be willing to roll the dice with him this year and not pay Rodgers the $30 million he's probably looking for a year. Or Kirk Cousins' contract, which is probably 35 million dollars, and you got to lose draft picks to bring him back. It just no, it would be the dumbest move. It would be the dumbest move. They- I will say that in hindsight, it turned out to be pretty smart. They screwed up. They screwed over the Oakland Raiders. Not that they are in the division or anything, but completely screwed the Oakland Raiders over. Then they found their quarterback of the future versus having Kirk for 3-year bridge and had let's say they didn't get Michael Penix this last year, right? This would be the year that they're looking for a quarterback. They'd run Kirk out there, but they'd probably look for a quarterback that if they took one when they just signed him, right? so, I mean, like I think they only gave him a 3-year deal, right? So I think after the year one, you can sit there and go, okay, this may or may not work out. We're going to start looking for our quarterback of the future now. Whether we're getting someone who is what who no yes that that means that's what you said to me. If your guy that you like is there, you take him, right? They must have really liked Michael Penix because he very winnable, very winnable. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Only got to just win their division, right? That means he's not. and, and we have this supposed offensive talent. We just need someone to give them the ball. Yeah, that one's tough, but they got the guy that they I think that they want. We'll see next year. I'll tell you what, he didn't look bad. He didn't look half bad out there. Yeah. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I think next year or maybe the year after that, there'll be a lot of teams looking for a quarterback. A lot of teams. Just because if the group that just came out doesn't pan out, your Bo Nix, your Penix, your your McCarthy's, ugh. And then you've already got teams. You already had a year where it was Kenny Pickett. And you got Mason Rudolphs and Richardson and all those guys out there. And yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Like there's a lot of teams that could possibly, because of mistakes that they might have made, be looking for a quarterback in the next year or two. Right. And uh, the Saints are well, not the Saints, the Rams are looking for someone. I don't yeah. They're going to be looking for someone, I think, sooner rather than later too. Um, And if Justin Fields doesn't work out, the Jets will be in the situation in another year. Next year. Hmm. If they yeah, if they don't get one. Gino's got 3 years, right? And they coach is 30. When the Oakland looks for one, they're looking for everything. Because yeah, Pete Carroll, I think Gino it just comes with Pete Carroll. They just made sense. They got Pete Carroll, might as well bring his old the quarterback he had for a year. So it just makes sense. Hmm. Tennessee. No, no, Tennessee might have Cam Ward. I'm thinking right now, but let's just Ra- Rams. Um, they just paid him though. They just get yeah. Then you got yeah. How do you? I personally think that the Miami Dolphins are one season away from blowing that whole thing up. It may be this season because if they're already talking about trading Jalen Ramsey, he's available for trade. I think if they can't do well in the AFC East, um, which they should because the Jets aren't very good and the Patriots aren't very good, and they just have to worry about the Buffalo, which they should be able to possibly get one against 1-1 in Buffalo. You're probably going to lose in Buffalo. You should be able to beat Buffalo if you're going to be competitive in Miami. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I think Mike McDaniels is looking for another job. Everyone. Yep. Head coach, everyone. I think they blow it up and rebuild. And if they blow it up and rebuild, then that means they're looking for a new quarterback. They're one of those people looking for a new quarterback as well. Especially since they probably should be looking for one now because Tua's health is a serious risk. His health is a risk. He's one hit away from medically not being able to play in football again. Right? So they don't make the play. He may not be able to. That's what I mean. The concussions alone may not make him able to do that. So I think just to hedge their bets, a year or two, they're looking for another quarterback. That just it's just so I think Miami's going to be one of those teams looking for one. And to be perfectly honest with you, if Pitt doesn't get it right, they're looking for one as well. Like they just haven't not been able to get it right. Mason Rudolph. Mm-hmm. Because Flacco just signed back with Cleveland, so you can't even go out there and get him. Pretty sure Mariota's probably around someplace. Maybe I don't know. I don't. Mm, mm. Shit. I don't want any of those guys. I don't want any of those guys at all. That's a oh, that's tough. That's tough. They put all their eggs in the worst basket they could possibly find. The Aaron Rodgers basket is not a basket. I'm so happy when the Giants was like, you know what, we're done with this. We're done with this. We I was them kicking the tires on Aaron Rodgers pissed me off. But I'm glad that they just did. They just kind of checked it to see if everything was okay. It wasn't okay, and they quickly pivoted. But yeah, it's they and the he's got it. He knows that he's the best free agent available. Um, I don't know why he would want to wait until the season starts and hope for an injury to go on a team. That is not an ideal situation. Going into a team not knowing the playbook and just going to wing it on. I know you're a good quarterback. That's just not an ideal situation. Why not get into a situation where you get to work with the players you're going to play with? DK Metcalf and Pickens, you guys would probably do okay together. Like, just work with them in the off season. Like, or if Minnesota is what you're doing, is it money that's really tied it up? Does he want to just make them wait and squeeze them out with more money? Is he waiting for the draft to make sure that they don't pick a quarterback up? Like, imagine him signing in February or signing in March last month, and then Pittsburgh still goes in there and gets Shador. He's like, is he waiting for for one of these teams for the draft to go and see if they really need him? Because it would be very similar to what happened to Cousins last year. You go on a team and then they sit there and draft it, and now you're just sitting there like, really, this is what we're doing. If you guys would have told me this, I'd have stayed in free agency, or I would have. So I wonder if he's waiting till next week, and we'll see. Yeah, but that how can a team function like that? Like, how could anybody, especially, how could he think that the Steelers are going to go into this draft and not pick up a quarterback? Now, now Minnesota, probably not getting a quarterback. Because it's the same situation there. But, but if JJ McCarthy is what we think he is, I'm not gonna say that. I have not seen him throw one. If he becomes Trey Lance, if he becomes Trey Lance, then Aaron Rodgers has nothing to worry about by going to Minnesota. So because they're not picking a quarterback in this year's draft. If they are, oh my god, JJ McCarthy's his career's over before he even started. He's coming back to a quarterback competition. Ooh, with another first round draft pick. That or at least if they pick a quarterback in the second round, he's coming back to competition. Like third and okay, because some of the names that I'm hearing, the Giants may take a third round quarterback just to get him in the room with Russ and Winston, but I don't think they. I don't know. I like I said, I hope it's Shador, but if they get a quarterback, which I think they will in this draft, it's just a matter of where they get one at and who's available. I think they like Jackson Dart, but he probably won't be available. They think of him as a first round grade on a quarterback, or the second quarterback off the board. I've heard Jalen Milroe as a possible second or third round pick for the Giants. a little bit more athletic. So that would be something. Yes, yes, throwing the ball. They said it. Mhm. No, go ahead. No, no, no. Mm, mm. Wait, you said the Vikings, yeah. Man. So they won't be picking a quarterback this year. If they went and got Shador Sanders at 24 and snuck him from St. Louis, who would be ahead of them, that would hurt. And at that point in time, McCarthy could just pack his bags, right? So yeah, and at that point in time, then now Aaron Rodgers is waiting for a team to go because there's no way that the Pittsburgh Steelers don't pick a quarterback in the first round of this draft. I don't know about that. I think that was self-serving. I think that was a little self-serving because they would give more picks to give to the Bears. Just so they could get a guy that was probably going to be there at 21, but they weren't sure. You're not sure. 24, three behind you, three behind you. They don't know that they might move up, right? They could just they can't see the same board that you see. And 10. Is the good oh, it's the Bears call them. They'd be like, wouldn't it be great if we knew the picks before the day? so so I'm just saying, I think, oh man, they have to, but they have to get a pick. They have to get a quarterback. That first pick, that first round pick cannot. They need a third string too, probably, in my opinion. So they might take two. They might. hmm I thought there'd only be one available to the Giants. And when I was like, oh man, when Fields is done, I was like, oh, Pittsburgh's going to resign Russ. Oh, they're not. Okay. If- well, what if this is what I could see happening, right? That a team like the Cowboys move ahead of you to get Genty. Top five, top six. I, I will say if Genty gets past Oakland, I think the Cowboys make a call to either the Jets or Carolina. Carolina could use the picks. The Jets may not, and they go up to get Genty. They have other needs, but they really need a running back. Don't to go up to get him. If another team wants to do it, it's fine. Yeah. Hmm. If they've got high ceiling for Genty. Like I think that it would be worth going up the 3 or 4 spots if you're the Cowboys to get him. Like I, at that point in time, the P yeah. Hmm. Oh, I don't see him get if he's there because I'm looking at it. I don't really see him not that getting past the Giants or whatever. There are the Oakland Raiders. I can see them going for him. The Jets, a defensive end that I can definitely see them going defense and going to get him. Like I just don't see how he gets past most of these teams if he's available. Oh. Hmm. Well, then you need to learn your lesson because Larry Tunsil's an All Pro and possibly a future Hall of Famer. So you get that. Hmm. It'd be difficult to find anyone who did, right? Hmm. This is the draft that you saw from NFL.com that has the Giants getting Ashton Gently. All right, get out of this one. This I don't ever need to see this dumb draft again. Let's see this guy. I'm looking at these Abdul. They have Ashton. This one has Ashton Gently going fifth to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cowboys going up to get Jalen Walker. They have y'all getting an edge, Mikael Williams, which is an edge from Georgia, which we just said you can't go wrong with go. Let's see what other drafts we have. Lewis 1.0 mock draft. They have this one has the Raiders trading up to get Travis Hunter at 2. Giants going Abdul Carter. Ashton Genty going to the Cleveland Browns. I don't really see that. Shador Sanders going to the Saints. Bears getting Tyler Warren, which is the original stuff that I kept seeing. I don't know. I'm be honest with you. To me, the Cowboys need to and the Cowboys are in a situation, except they have CeeDee Lamb. They're in a situation where I thought the Giants were when they drafted um, Saquon Barkley. They need a run game to help protect their quarterback because they don't have an offensive line. It takes too long to develop it to get an offensive line, right? But if you can get a running back that could take some pressure off of them, it's a little quicker, it's a little faster. I think the Cowboys in that, but unlike the Giants who didn't have a wide receiver, they have a top wide receiver. But to me, then that definitely means you either have to protect your quarterback or you have to be a good play action team, right? And they don't have any of that to be a good play action team. Their offensive line absolutely stinks. This may not be the draft for offensive line, and I think that's why they have to go a running back. And that's why I think if they could get Ashton Genty, they would, because it feels like the same situation when the Giants drafted Saquon. They could not protect Eli Manning, and they knew it would take years that Eli didn't have to get him that. And I think it's the same. They couldn't protect. They couldn't protect Eli. Eli got. hmm They lost players on that offensive line, the veteran guys, to retirement that they won't have going into the season. So their offensive line is probably worse. Right? So how do you hide how bad that offensive line is going to be? Like, either you draft some better offensive line talent, which if this isn't the draft for them, then I feel for you. Like this mock has them getting a wide receiver. I don't know how that helps them right now. I understand that they need another wide receiver, but they've tried. They had Brandon Carr. They've had other players that they've had in that slot or number two wide receiver position to try to complement um CD Lamb. But did no, they didn't get Stephon Diggs, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm trying. Mm. Faneca. Uh-huh. Yeah. Played for a while there too. hmm Who the Giants pick in that draft? Defensive lineman, probably. Who the Giants pick in the first round of that draft? Jesse Armstead, defensive back. Sean Williams played for a while. He was on the first championship team for the Giants. Not a bad pick. I didn't like him too. Yeah, the '90s weren't bad. They wound up going to the Super Bowl 2 years later. R.W. McCorders ended up being a giant and won a Super Bowl with the Giants and the D. Yep, and then he. Yeah, I remember RW. Yeah, he had a good career. But he also went to Marshall though too. It's not a foot no, not a football, but still. His talent? No. hmm yeah, but they never get the players that you like. They never get those guys anyway. They don't. But I mean, they don't get. Well, I say that they drafted Aaron Hernandez. But they usually don't draft bad character guys. It's like so even if they was putting it out there, Yeah, that's their yeah. Well, that stretch. Because even when what's his name? And he can't really throw him that far. My back. Oh. Yeah, next one more week. Yeah, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. Looking at nope, nope. Oh, you can't because I got the fifth pick and the seventh pick and the ninth pick. The Jags probably won't get him because the Jags have what is it? Etienne? Etienne. Hmm. But what if I have a trade? Holland is trading from the Cowboys to the top six pick so they can get Ashton Genty. I just don't think the wide receiver pick is there. I know if it's the best available, yes, they have problems on the back end of their safety position. They have defensive. Now they need a pass rush. All they have is Micah. They just lost Lawrence. They can't stop the run. So if you can get a big defensive tackle, uh, like there's a lot of positions for you to get your number two wide receiver in the top of the draft. Now I get it. You want to have a decent 1-2 combination, but your quarterback can't stand up. And he gets injured easily because he gets hit a lot. Hmm. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Green Bay's are rocking. They're just making math. It's just I was supposed to say meth capital of the world. I was just it's a Green Bay grass 23. 23rd. Green Bay. Turns out to be a pro bowler. All right, man.
Recording stopped.